field this question? How come taxes are not lower with all of the projects? What would you do to lower them?
I have to say that I don't know a lot about how taxes get lowered. I do know that our taxes have been pretty stable for the last 5 years. In fact, I have a mother who's a homeowner, and I know how important it is to keep up with your taxes. And a lot of people have to leave town when they're retired because their taxes are too high to maintain their residency. So whatever I could do to do further research or get more information to help in that regard, I certainly would absolutely be for that. So thank you.
Thank you.
We've benefited a lot in this town from the additional ratables with development. It's those ratables that have basically kept our taxes flat. We've seen increases in our taxes, but it's primarily in the school portion of our taxes. The taxes that we control, which is the town portion, that's been fairly flat. Future development will continue to contribute those ratables. But we've also got to be careful. You can't do development with the sole goal of keeping your taxes down. It has to be responsible development. But it is good to have a town that recognizes the fact that people are under strain paying these taxes, and we have to fight and look for the most efficient and effective ways of providing services in this town to keep the taxes as level as they can. We have a lot of benefits too. This town's done a great job paying off its debt. The debt portion is about 22% of our tax dollars is going towards servicing debt. And I applaud the mayor and I applaud the current council. We've kept that, we've been paying off our taxes, and I'm going to stop right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris?
So I have to agree. The current administration has done a fantastic job at bringing in desirable businesses. And what we have to do responsibly to keep those taxes flat. I mean, yeah, it would be great if we could lower those taxes, but more to keep them at the very least flat. We want to keep bringing in business, but we need to do it responsibly. We want to keep the residents at heart when we do that. We want to make sure it's right for everybody. I'm a taxpayer here in town. I can tell you, yeah, the taxes are, yeah, they're more than some surrounding towns, some more comparable towns, but that's kind of, being in a city like this, that can happen. But the idea is you want to bring in desirable businesses to the very least keep that tax rate flat, which it has been over the last handful of years, and I'm proud of that. And that's it.
Thank you. Alison?
Well, it's a great question. We have endured a lot with the redevelopment in this town, with traffic and the burden of the construction and all of that. And people want to know, where does that money go and why aren't our taxes being reduced? Just to echo what Bob's saying, is it's great that we have tax stability and we have paid down our debt. But one thing you need to understand is 40% of your tax bill goes to the municipal budget. The other 60% goes to the county and to the school tax. So that's important to consider. And having met with Michael Rogers over the last 8 years and learned a lot about our budget, we do a good job, and I applaud the administration because we do a good job. We provide a lot of services for the town. I'd like to see us provide more services, though, and spend less if we can. Leverage our current base and work and to maximize the budget as much as we can. I think there's room for that. And just today I was studying the budget a little bit more. So I'd like to look into that, some more creative ways to solve that problem. But great question, and I have to stop now.
Thank you, Alison. Justin?
All right. So, yeah, Bob's right. The town's done a great job with keeping taxes level. Kudos to the administration. It's been 0% for 5 years straight, so that's an amazing accomplishment. We got to keep that going. And the reason why they're not lower now is for several reasons. 30% of Morristown is nonprofit, which means we can't tax that. So we're at a disadvantage to other local localities. So we have to be creative in Morristown in order to make up that difference. Development has been a big help. Debt service is down significantly, $50 million or so down, and even more if you go back further than about 10 years. So we get a lot of bang for a buck. We got to keep doing that. Shared services with our neighboring town. Morris Township has been not exactly the best partner in doing that. That's a way to get more bang for our buck. So those are just some of the small things that we can do. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Sidney?
It's a great question. In walking and talking to the residents of the Second Ward, one of the greatest burdens on our seniors are property taxes. In fact, one of the residents shared with me that his property taxes are twice what a similar house would be in Morris Township. And it's a burden, and we want to keep our seniors in town, and many of them are moving away because they simply can't keep up on the taxes. And so I would recommend that we work with Senator Bucco, Assemblyman Bucco, to do what we can to get lower taxes, especially for our seniors. Secondly, I think we should continue to explore shared services, like we did with the emergency dispatch service, which the county now operates, and look for other opportunities. I think we should support the fire department and its EMS services, which brings in revenue to the town, almost $200,000, I believe, last year that our fire department brought in for taking on more work for the same pay. And so I think we should look at how we can bring more revenue in, how we can do shared services, and finally, how we can get special dispensation for our seniors who own property in this community.
Thank you very much. We're now ready for our next question.